Hey everyone, give me just a few seconds. I'm going to try to share this on my regular page to hopefully get some people in, and then I will talk. If you cannot hear me, I don't have my microphone because I'm using my iPad right now. It might echo a little bit, so I apologize for that, but I'm going to do the best I can until I can get my Mac up and running again. So give me just a second here as I try to share this. Alright. Oh, very good. Share. Start a watch party. Okay. Alright. I'm going to turn that down. Alright, so been a while since I've done a Facebook Live, and really I wanted to get on because of just a lot of things that I could put into content through YouTube or any other channel. And let me know how volume level is. If you can't hear me, make sure you say something. I appreciate Michelle, Ashley, Heidi, Philip, even from New Orleans is checking in. Dr. Fry, good to see you. But like I was saying, just a lot of thoughts running through my head, a lot of things as I am just a couple days over a year of what I consider rock bottom, and when my life was really at the fork in the road, and it was time to make a decision of what my life was going to become. So I want to talk a little bit about that. I want to interact. Anyone has anything to say? Let me see. Make sure I have dialogue on. Questions, interactions. I'd love to connect with you guys. I don't get to see everyone as often anymore. We made the move to New Jersey, and just talk about life as well. There's been a lot of things going on in the news. We could talk about the tragedy and what I've taken away from Kobe Bryant's tragedy, and with his daughter and the other passengers as well. But I want to start off by really reflecting. So my parents came out last weekend, and the main reason they came out is because it was a year ago that I had them coming to our place in Kansas City to go out to eat. And if by now you don't know the story, there's plenty of ways you can look back on the site. I'm not going to go through it all again, but essentially me just being in denial of where my life was, and really led me to falling apart mentally, physically, led to coping in ways that I just would never wish upon anyone, and essentially led to me in handcuffs. So I had the divine intervention, number one, of surrendering to God and continue that path. And that is, I'll give number one credit for all of that, of having that opportunity to realize that I need to let go and let God. And it's been a whirlwind, and I started Grace in Your Corner, and I feel like I give a lot of advice and of things that I've done and then experienced. But I want to make sure tonight that you understand that reality for me is that it's not like, wow, this has been a year out and everything is perfect. But this is progress to managing life's challenges for me. It's not, okay, boom, I figured out the puzzle, I figured out the Rubik's Cube, since my son is on Rubik's Cube kick right now, and all is well. Things are much, 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 much better. Life is where I deserve life to be, where my family deserves it to be. But that doesn't mean that I don't face the struggles that got me to where I was a year ago in the first place, that I don't have the doubt at times, and that I don't struggle with my self-esteem or have my depression suck the energy from me at times and really put me into a funk. But it's all about having more coping skills and strategies and better connections. And number one, not hiding from it anymore. So again, as I'm talking here, I know there's a lot of people that are popping in and out. I'd love to touch base with anyone. If you have any comments, questions, I will link my contact information below as well. I've interacted with a lot of people, but I also want this message to be a message of hope. A message of hope for people that might be in a dark place that I was in, and they might not see the purpose, and they might feel alone, because I'm telling you, I felt very much alone for the longest time. And it is easy for people to put on a front. I was in a position where I was in the public, and I put on a front for a long time, and I you can mask and cover things up and nearly try to just survive. And I want to let people know that it is okay to speak up. It is okay to fight for the right that you deserve, and that things can get better. Because the underlying message today is things are so much better for me. And as my parents left on Sunday night, there were no tears shed, even though they're going 1,200 miles back to Kansas. And a big reason that the tears weren't shed is because they see that we are in a place that I personally am in a place with a purpose for life again, with the underlying mission to live the life that I deserve, so I can live the life that my family, my kids, my wife, the people around me deserve, and to not worry about as much as the judgment. And those people coming in, Christina, Jerry, Mindy, Jill, Dana, Brian, all of you, thank you for popping in. If anyone has any questions, comments, throw them in there. But I'm just kind of recapping, reflecting on a year and reflecting on just some of my thoughts. I've already mentioned that, a very positive vibe has come from me and Grace in Your Corner, but I still want people to know that I still have challenges. There still are days where I become very emotionally frustrated with where I'm at. I'll give you an example. I feel like I just went through the whole job search, and I'm still working with Keller Williams right now, is finding people and connecting them with agents and things of that sort, but I'm trying to get a more permanent New Jersey-based job, and it's difficult, and it is emotionally draining at times to apply, and not get to where you want to be with. I feel like my expectations are so high of myself, and I think I probably overshoot for things, but at times that it makes me left very tired, and depression-like symptoms come in, but I can talk through that and things. So there still are very much so challenges. It's just on how you cope with those. But what I would say, going back to people that might feel like they're alone and feel like they don't have an answer, please start with someone that you trust. Start with a core support group of people that you would tell anything to, and open up to them and let them know and trust, and that you open up those people for a reason, that they will hold that in with them, and that they will allow themselves to not go to other places, but just to be there opening and listening, so that you have that support. Because day by day, if you can continue to branch out and be a little bit more vulnerable, and then admit that things might not be perfect, you can get the support and realize that is okay. You need to understand it is okay not to be perfect. I want someone to show me a perfect person. Someone out there, go ahead. If you feel like you're the perfect person, go ahead and post right there now, and 913-575-8181. Give me a call as soon as I get off of this, because I want the solution to how you're perfect. We as a society often want to be perfect. We want to display that we're perfect. We want to display to everyone else, well, look at my life. Man, I'm living the high life. I'm going to post a picture on Instagram of this beautiful sunset. I'm going to post a picture of my kids giving me a huge kiss on the cheek. But behind that phone, behind our struggles, and that's okay. I mean, that is life. That is life. And if you're trying to live the benchmark of living perfection, you're setting yourself up for failure, and you're setting yourself up to have false reality. And I can proudly say that I have many flaws. I think that some of them have been very well documented. Another flaw of mine is I'm an extremely patient person when it comes to dealing with interacting with others, but I have little patience with my family, and I'm trying to work on that. When I am with just my kids, or when I'm with my wife, there's times that they get the short end of the stick because I just expect them to be better, and that's not fair. They're doing exactly what other people do, even better, but they don't get the grace because I live with them on a day-to-day basis. And I understand that, and I realize that that's a flaw of mine, and I'll admit that to you guys too, because I don't live a perfect life, and I'm not a perfect person, but I'm one that strives to get better and be a better version of myself every single day. And I hope that that's what you live by too, because at the end of the day, I live under the lens of God, and I posted today on social media about, instead of saying why me, try to look through the lens of what is this trying to teach me, because God is not just an instant gratification mindset. God has the path that we often cannot see, that we have to live like a car's headlights, where we get at night, where we get piece by piece, but we can't see the entire path. When you're in your car, it doesn't light up to the very end of the path. You have to go bit by bit, and we trust that behind those headlights is the next step of God's plan. And that's what I do with life now is, you know what? I might not be employed tomorrow. I might not be employed in the next month, but I know that God has something working for me. And I know that God's going to grace me with the opportunity when the time is right. And right now, God is telling me that I need to adjust and transition my kids and my family. And I'll do that to the best of my ability. But those are things that I did not understand. And when I was in that dark space, when I was in that dark place, things just compounded and compounded and compounded. And it made me feel smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller. And eventually it got the best of me. And it started with my ego, because I didn't want to admit that I had an issue. That I was severely doubted myself, that I was depressed, and I was trying to display a different person than who I was. So if you can find the vulnerability to know that it is okay to step out of your comfort zone and say, I'm really struggling with this issue, what can it be? And it doesn't have to be mental health. It might be financially, it might be religiously, it might be, you name it, with marital, parenting, anything. But the day that you can admit to yourself that you're not perfect, that you have those imperfections, is the day that you can start living the life with clarity and the life that you deserve. And I just feel so much more freed as a person, having the opportunity to do that. And I've chosen this last year to do that in an open platform, to do that publicly, whether it is speaking engagements, whether it's on here, Facebook Live, social media, because I want people to see that it's okay to make mistakes. It's okay to have flaws. It's okay to be imperfect, but it's not okay to try to get through life yourself, because I almost killed myself and I almost killed someone else through trying to get through life on my own. I don't want any of you to have to live with that past, that history for the rest of your life and have it as a cloud. I've learned to forgive myself. I've learned to move on, and now I'm I am more so than ever motivated to help other people. And that is the Grace in Your Corner message here. And Grace in Your Corner is actually only about 9 months in, but if I can help one person from this reflection, if I can help one single family that's struggling, whether it's through addiction, whether it's through mental health, parenting, any of that, I don't have every answer, but I can tell you this, that I can help you find the right resource. And that it's out there, and that every day can be better and better. Because when I was 3 months back, when I was 4 months back from hitting that rock bottom and from being honestly publicly humiliated and thinking that I was never going to be able to come out of my house again, I thought, man, 4 months in, I am doing so much better. My life is so much better because I was living in the present. But guess what was even better than that? Living day by day by day, following the same goal of living the life that I deserve, because 7 months was better than 4 months. And when I got to 10 months, it was better than 7 months. And God continues to light up the path that I have. And now I'm at a year. And over the last year, I have had more open conversations with people about reality than I had in 34 years before. And I'm excited to wake up in the morning. I don't live with the regret of, well, what am I going to have to go through today? And I'm excited to connect with other people, and I'm excited to look and see where the journey's going to go next. I still hit road bumps all the time, and it is okay. You have to understand, no matter what journey you're on, you have to be able to understand that it is okay to experience emotion. I experience anger. I experience sadness. I experience all of those things over and over and over again. But there's a difference between experiencing these emotions and being sucked into my depression and thinking that life was never going to get any better. There's a difference between making one day reflect and impact the next 7 and having coping skills to be able to learn how to move forward. And those are things that I continue to work on. And I think that as a country, we need to continue to get better in the mental health industry. I mean, I'm transitioning from Kansas to New Jersey and trying to get back into a psychiatrist. It takes forever, and I just think that is criminal. I mean, here I am. I have got my medications. I've worked so hard to get them all lined out and everything done, and now I'm doing everything possible to get in as fast as I can to make sure that I don't miss any of my medications to get those done. It shouldn't be that hard. I mean, it's just the bottom line. It shouldn't be that hard, and it's something where we can continue to work on. But there's barriers out there, but we look at what we can control, and we do the best that we can. And if you do those things, I promise you will not live in regret. There's going to be times where you need help. I need help every day. I being able to connect and interact with all of you is so soothing for my soul, because I just know how lonely it can feel out there. And everyone that I'm interacting with, and the people that are coming in now, Nanette, Shirley, Mary, Rick, Mindy, Curtis, Tiffany, we're all in different places in life. We've all got our own stories. And I think it was 2 days ago where I posted a thought that was so true. We always have our tunnel vision on, and we're looking in the mirror and looking back at us, not other people. We're reflecting on just our own issues and problems. But if we all throw and expose all of the skeletons in our closet and we put them out there, you're going to realize that people out there have just as many issues, just as many struggles and challenges, that they just aren't talking about them. And you'll say, oh man, maybe mine's not as bad. It's all about perspective, ladies and gentlemen. It's all about perspective. If life was easy, then we'd all be living and doing whatever we wanted to. There wouldn't be any of this. Life isn't easy. Life is going to present challenges, lessons, learnings, but God's going to be there with you. God won't abandon you through those. God never abandoned me, and trust me, I shoved him away multiple times, dozens of times, hundreds of times, and he presents opportunity after opportunity after opportunity until it finally sets in with you. Fear not, because you are not alone. And I talked to one church about that, and it's so true. But once you accept God and you accept the support, and I continue to want to break down the barrier of people feeling embarrassed to talk about things that are hard. Mental health is hard to talk about. I don't always feel up to things. I have anxiety. If you put me in a group of one or two people and we just have to keep the conversation going, I start to get very anxious and my anxiety kicks in. And if I know that that's what I'm going to be going into before the day even starts, I really have a high case of anxiety. I'm medicated for anxiety because it's something that just eats away at me. And if you have that, that's okay. But make sure you're finding ways, whether it's medication, coping skills that are healthy, because you're going to cope. In life, you are going to cope with situations that are tough. You can choose a healthy way to cope, or you can choose an unhealthy way. Trust me, the results of unhealthy will end up getting you to a place that you don't want to be. So find ways, and if it's wanting to be, I'm not saying that you have to shout out to everyone and go post on social media or go talk at a family reunion, clean your glass and stand up and say, hey everyone, I want you to know I am bipolar. That's not what I'm asking you to do. What I'm asking you to do is first be comfortable with yourself and then know that you deserve to live the best life possible and find someone to get the support that you need, and that it's okay. I continue to find support for my depression. I'm finding a therapist as I move here and get established. I continue to connect with people and share stories with people, not because I have the answers, but because we help each other, and we feel heard and valued, and it's just a way of life. And coming up, we're going to continue Grace in Your Corner. When I started it was a website and a blog. It was one entry of me explaining how I ended up where I ended up at. And it's not saying where I ended up at was okay, because it wasn't. What I did is inexcusable and will never. It is something that it is hard to forgive. And I work every day. I talk about Redemption Road. I work every day to prove to people that I am a human being that cares about life. I am a human being that cares about others. I am a human being that has always wanted to care for others, but I'm a human being that lost control. I lost the guiding path of my life, and I lost the hope. And now I'm trying to prove that again in the workforce, that I am someone that I guarantee you as a skill set, but this is the day-to-day thing that it has been very hard for me to forgive myself and go through, and I don't want you ever to get there. But so I started Grace in Your Corner, and I wanted people to live through my life and through my examples, and I wanted people to understand that if you do not find the help that you deserve, that things can go awry very quickly and off the tracks and off the rails very quickly. But also that life can be managed and life can be lived to its most beautiful extent. And I have had so many joyous occasions and events the last year, and I've had so many meaningful conversations where I've left and I'm just saying, I wish I would have been like this since day one. But I was scared. But I no longer live in fear, and I don't want you to live in fear. So Grace in Your Corner is actually progressing more than I ever thought it would. We're going to have an outreach program in Nemaha County. And again, it's not because we have all the answers, but it's because we want people to say that silent voices are going to end up causing destruction. That we want you to be able to speak up, whether it's to one person, whether it's to someone else, but we're there to help and support and guide you and let you know you're not alone. We'll provide resources. We'll provide whatever you need, whether it's you personally or whether it's a family member that's struggling, but we're going to be there. And if you've never been down that path before, we're going to help. We might not have the answers, but we won't give up. That's the thing about it, is we're not in it for money. Grace in Your Corner is not about financial parts or pieces. It's about helping people live the life they deserve, because I'm glad that I'm living the life that I deserve now. And this is joyous, and I'm so thankful to the Lord that I'm blessed to be 35 with a lot of life to live, if that's the way God wants it. But I want you, starting today, tomorrow, wherever, to live each day that you deserve. And I see that I have my mama just tuned in. Hey, Julie. Hope things are going well back in Kansas. Thanks for coming out. But this is a tough transition, but I'm going to transition into, I said I was 35 years old, and I was hinting at that I've got a lot of life left to live. But as the tragedy of the NBA superstar Kobe Bryant was upon us this weekend, I'm going to tell you that hit me hard. Because you don't know how much time you have left to live. And here's this legend, this global icon, one of the best players ever, playing for one of the most historic franchises ever. And I'm a huge sports guru. And I see this person as being immortal. Nothing can take this person down. And this is also a person that some people forget, some people don't forget. But this is also a person that did not live a perfect life, that went through a lot of challenges and some parts in life that were pretty dark. And there were not... not something you would want to role model after at all, and made some life choices, and found there's an article out there how the Catholic faith helped turn his life around a little bit. But anyway, larger than life, all the money you can ask for, everyone just looked up to him, and then before you know it, one day it was all over. And as more and more details of this story broke, it was gut-wrenching to then find out that first I just got an update that Kobe Bryant had died in a crash, and then you get an update that his 13-year-old daughter was with him. And then more families and more information came out. And before you know it, there's 9 people who tragically were killed in a helicopter accident, and they had so much more life to give, and they've got families still living that are mourning right now and hurting more than I can ever understand or know. And then it hit me, and I started to, I could not turn and watch the news about it anymore, because it took me apart. But there's people that I follow in the sports world that bicker back and forth and have their blood boils when they talk to this other person, and people started to forgive, and people were reaching out and understanding that some of this stuff is so petty, and that some of this stuff, the fighting, the things that we think are so large in life are actually so minute when you take life and you look through the lens of God, because we don't know how much time we get on this planet. We don't know when we talk to the person if that'll be their last time that we talk to them. And how do you want to live and leave each time you talk to someone else? Or what is the last thing that you do? How do you want that to be lived by? Do you want it to be in a screaming match? Do you want it to be at a red light, flipping someone the bird that didn't go because they were texting in front of you? Or do you want to live and give and provide grace because that's the person that you are? We have to get over some of these things, and we have to look through life and what really matters. And what matters is the people that we know and love, and the God's grace, and that we worship and live in His Word. And we have to understand that this other stuff doesn't matter. Your job, you name it, your accolades, your you know, how well, I don't even know. You can make time and time again and things are, but you have to start living for what matters. And for what matters, if you don't have those, and I wrote a blog on this, if you don't have your core foundational things of what matters anchored down and set in stone, it's time to get them that way. And it's time to live life each and every day through those things in that order. Because I would juggle those around and I would say, okay, this means the most to me today, but it doesn't mean the most to me tomorrow. And a lot of the time it was putting things that didn't really matter above. I would have my job that would jump above my family, myself, my faith. And if I would have been the one in the helicopter, I would have left life with so many regrets, and I don't want that upon anyone. But my heart breaks for those families, and I pray for them all. I pray for the ones that have passed. I pray for the ones that are still living on this earth. But what a wake-up call to show us how we need to live life. Day by day, with no regrets, based off of what we truly believe in. And it's things like that unfortunately sometimes in life it takes a tragedy to reset our vision on what's important. And that's not what I want. And this last year has given me that hope and opportunity to live. And when I do leave, that people say that's a person that cared about other people, and that's a person that figured it out and was very vulnerable and honest, and he would give the shirt off his back to make sure that you understood how much he cared about you. And if I haven't told you, and there's so many people that have been such a huge inspiration that don't even know how much they've helped me over this past year. Those of you that sent me letters, I didn't send thank yous, but those of you that sent me texts, those of you that sent me anything or have reached out and have just given me a hug, you've given me the extra motivation to continue to do what I need to live the life that I deserve, because I can see through you that I impact your life in a positive way. That you truly want. And I allowed myself that depression was telling me that no one cares about me. No one would know if I wasn't here. But I've allowed myself to start to see that that's not true. And those letters and things just, they lifted me up, and they continue to do that. And now it's my turn to pay it forward as I don't forget. I mean, I want you to understand that a year doesn't mean that I've got things conquered and figured out. It's a day-to-day grind of managing life's challenges. But I'm on a path that I know is sustainable with the hard work and support group. And I want others to realize that that's out there too. And I want you to know that I'm here for you. I'm in your corner. Whether we know each other and we talk all the time, or whether we've just encountered each other a couple times, I promise you that I'm an open ear, and that I can be there for you, and I can just listen and not. I know that you don't always need advice, that you just need someone to be there, and whether it's to affirm that sometimes life sucks, or whether it's to let you know that you're doing great things, it's just to be an open ear, and I'll do as much or as little as you want. But for every one of me, there's 100 other people out there that would do the same thing for you, and you need to understand that. And life's a beautiful thing. It's just not meant to go isolated. It's meant to enjoy together. And I'm so excited for all of the people that I've connected with and met through this, and for all the people in the future that I have the opportunity to work with. And please, if you live in Nemaha County, if you live in Manhattan or Kansas City, if you want to be a part of this movement, Grace in Your Corner, please reach out to me. If you're in Nemaha County, specifically Seneca, Sabetha, Hiawatha, Frankfort, Centralia, you name it, that area, reach out to my mother. She's going to be a huge part of the outreach program in Nemaha County. Because we're not gonna stop until we help one person, save one life, and then move that person forward and on to the next. People in Kansas City, I've never enjoyed Facebook so much as I have the last year, because I've actually truly followed and gotten to know and understand people, and now that I live in a different state, I rely on it even more than ever to make connections. But as I read people that have popped in and out of the chat today, some of you I know through me being a principal for your child. Some of you I know through being raised in Emaha County together. Some of you I know through acquaintances. Some of you are my cousins. Some of you, we've just barely met, or we might only just be Facebook friends and not talked in person before. But I'm grateful for all of you, and you all play a big part in my life. So anyone out there have any questions or any celebrations? I love to celebrate with people. Anything that's going on in your life, or any thing that you would like to see, or questions about mental health or resources out there that you know of, or anything that's helped you get by, any quotes, anything, throw them out there. I know we only have 13 people left in watching that, but thank you. Thank you, Mom. I hope people watch. Even if you decide that you don't want to really be a vocal leader in Grace in Your Corner, having the conversation behind doors, having the ability just to reshare a video or direct people our way makes a huge difference. It's not Grace in Your Corner. Grace in Your Corner is just a name. And it's not even a program, it's people that save others. And that's from a leader that I work for that I respect, is that it's not a program that saves people, it's people. And that's all that Grace in Your Corner is. Grace in Your Corner is just a foundational block to get a conversation that needs to be had started. We're there to listen and to help direct towards resources, but we're there to keep on the forefront the conversations that get swept under the rug all too much. And we're there to make sure that the judgment that has come down doesn't come down with such thunder that it scares people from getting what they need. And it's there to have an open dialogue of what can happen and the dangers and the warnings, and living it through my life, because I am not ashamed anymore. I wish I could go back and clean exactly what happened and wash it away, but I am not ashamed anymore. I am someone that is going to live, and I am someone that is going to prove that this one instant in time does not define a person. And I can promise you this: I will not be defined by what happened a year ago. And well before a year ago, the spiraling down that I had of just losing all interest in my life. I will not be defined by that. And I will dig up every rock and turn over every stone to make sure that others that are scared see an example living every day, whether it's me talking to people, because I still want to go out and talk. I'm going to hunt down colleges, schools, workforces, anything to go out and share my story, because I want people to see someone getting the courage to speak and know that it isn't a chink in the armor to need support. That it's a part of life. And if you're living life right now, and if you're a person that looks down on someone that is openly had mental health, and I think even worse is someone that has an addiction issue, then you're only making it worse. And when you push people that are hurting into a corner with words that are judgmental, we've just done the worst thing possible. We've taken someone that is desperately needing help, and we've isolated them in a corner and made them even more afraid to be judged, to put on a false front that will actually hurt more than anything else. And that's what Grace in Your Corner is out to do. It's to take those words and to say, you know what? I understand. Okay. you have depression, you feel your mind is telling you that you don't deserve to be on this planet, I'm so sorry that you feel that way. But guess what? That isn't something that makes you a bad person. That's something that means that you need help and support, and we can help provide you resources. We're not licensed, but we can help provide you resources to get you to where you need to go. To help you understand that you have a life worth living, and people in there that care so much and want to see you live the life that you deserve. And that's where I've been the last year. That's my life. I'm looking for employment. I'm living life with my 2 kids, but I can tell you this, my job will do one thing. It'll give me the opportunity to connect with people. It'll put financial benefits into my family's pockets, but it's not going to make me a better person whether I get a high profile job or whether I have a job that might not be viewed as such. But what I can make my bet in is I can live the life knowing that I'm going to help as many people as possible on the side as well. And I'm going to push and push and push. And whether it means I have 10 people watching my Facebook Live right now, or down the road I have 150 to 1,000, I will not stop. I will not stop. And I know there's people that are joining the mission behind me. So you deserve it. I just wanted to get on today because I had so much. And as you can tell, I did not script any of this, Julie. I did not script anything. I think sometimes, yes, it might come off as rambling, but also sometimes when it comes straight from the heart, the more powerful it is. And this evening was straight from the heart. It was something that I wanted to sit down and reflect on, and things can get better. Things can get better, and they have for me, and they'll be better tomorrow than they were today. And when I'm doing 2 years, I'm gonna look back and say, man, I thought I had it good when I was 1 year out. 2 years is even better. And just do me a favor, promote mental health, addiction support, promote living the life that you deserve, and let other people know that you're there for them. And I think it does nothing but enhance the lives of everyone around you and the communities around you and supporting you. And it's also good for you. It'll leave you feeling more satisfied, and it'll leave you living in God's word and living through what you're meant to do. And it brings joy. It brings joy. So thank you to everyone that's been a part of this journey so far. Thank you to everyone that shares the things that I've said, that I do. I promise you I don't have all the answers, and I never will. But I'm going to do whatever I can if it means taking my own time to find and connect you with the right people. That's what I'm there for. And nothing gives me more joy than people that send me a message, that email me, that call me or text me, and just say hi. I mean, I miss so many of you, whether it's because I don't work with you anymore, or whether it's because we've grown up and have our own families and how busy it is. And I want to connect with as many people, because connection is the opposite of addiction, and connection is it just helps so much with my journey in this too. So I hope that we have a time to cross paths, and just seeing the names come across here, some guilt comes through because I haven't reached out to you, and I really, really miss you guys and a lot, and hope life is well for you, because that's what you deserve. So grace in your corner. It's just me living life that I deserve, to give the people around me the life that they truly deserve, and letting people know that they aren't alone. I realize that. I'm at peace. I'm so excited. And with that, I'm going to go ahead and sign off. Feel free, if you want to help, share. You can share this video. You can go back. I've said it so you can go back and replay it. But I'm so happy for all of you, and great things to come. So Michelle, Lord, you're right. Celebrate life each day. It's a blessing to be given every second we have on earth. That's the truth. Live life. Live life in every second. Be present and live it like it might be your last day, and that'll help you focus on what matters. So here we go. Live life tomorrow and be the best version of yourself, and live life like you deserve it to be lived, and do what helps you be the best person that you can. So I'm going to post my information. Help me out. Reshare these videos. This helps me so much. I want the traction to get going. I want people to reach out. I want people to know that they can anonymously reach out and we can connect. So if you share the video after this, that's great. Cory Strathman at Gmail. Send me a Facebook Messenger post. 913-575-8181. Text me. I'll text you back. I'm quick with that. I've got my Apple Watch on. It tells me when I get a message. Take care of yourself. God bless all of you. You're going to do good things. You're going to do great things. Just believe in yourself. And let's live this journey together. I'm here for you. God bless. Have a good night.